Hello everyone, myself Shri Geetika. I'm here to give a technical presentation on blockchain based anonymous voting system using ZKSN ARKS. Let's get into the contents. I'll give a detailed explanation on abstract, introduction, what is blockchain, existing systems, scheme preliminaries, technique, and the conclusion. Abstract. Blockchain-based anonymous voting system presents a very simple approach for a fair electronic voting system that guarantees anonymity, easy tallying, eligibility, fairness, high availability, voter authentication, voter confidentiality, vote verifiability, and public verifiability of any electoral process. As there are a number of anomalies in the present voting system, so by using the blockchain and cryptographic techniques, we can achieve a total integrity in the electoral process. So these properties are achieved using blockchain technology, and a new type of zero knowledge proof, which is also known as ZKSNARKS, is also being used. Introduction. So the blockchain technology has seen a wide range of applications recently, and this voting system is one of its application. The voting process can be conducted for many reasons, but it is widely used for the election of political positions, higher managerial positions, and for certain situations. We must ensure that the voting system must have features such as authenticity, integrity, confidentiality, etc. And we also came across the traditional voting system, that is paper ballot voting system, and we also know that the fairness is not gained through this traditional voting system, and that is not one of the efficient way of getting a good judgment, as we also experienced many of the unfairness anomalies during the voting process. So the cryptographic techniques and the blockchain techniques are used that ensures the fairness, integrity, and anonymity of the voting process. So let us know what is meant by blockchain. This blockchain, it contains a number of blocks, and each block it contains a particular data. So the block which contains the data will be pointing to the previous block of data. Okay, so here the pointers are created using a cryptographic hash functions, and the purpose of this pointer is that it not only refers to the previous block, but it can also be used to verify the integrity of the previous block. As I said that these pointers are created using a cryptographic hash functions. So firstly, a block of data is fed into the hash function, and this hash function it generates a series of string of bits that will always be the same for the exact data. Okay, this is meant by encryption. This is what encryption called as. So changing a single bit anywhere in the blockchain will result in the corruption of the entire chain. So here, if any single bit is changed in the data, it's the corruption of the entire chain takes place, and as the corruption takes place, the single bit value, that is the hash value, is also changed. So as the hash value of a single bit is changed, so the hash value of every consequent block is also changed. So this blockchain is an immutable data structure. Here is a simple diagram of a blockchain. As I said that blockchain it consists of a number of blocks, and each block contains data, and each block will be pointing to the previous block of data. So let's come to the existing systems. With the invent of the blockchain technology, many schemes for electronic voting systems have been proposed, and many of the schemes have been proposed using the cryptographic techniques. So these schemes can be categorized into two major categories, namely direct electronic voting system and internet based electronic voting system. So due to the current global political landscape, so achieving a fairness and a total integrity in the voting process is really one of a challenging task, and we need to achieve it in the recent future, and this can be done through the cryptographic and the blockchain techniques. So the fairness may not be getting through the voting process, and the main reason behind this is that the voters can be forced to vote in favor or against a choice of candidate. So if the voting is carried out in a protected environment without revealing the who voted for whom, so this problem gets solved. The schemes, as I said, that the voting process must have features such as authenticity, confidentiality, integrity. So these features are necessary to gain a fairness in the voting process, and so that the proposed schemes, it ensures the anonymity, resistance, correctness, easy tallying, fairness, integrity, voter confidentiality, vote verifiability. By using a secure blockchain based electronic voting system, we can get a fairness in the voting process. And a person named uh, Liu and Wang, he uses a blind signature scheme for protecting voter confidentiality. Here in this scheme, he used a blind signature technique. So by using this technique, we can protect the voter confidentiality. We can keep the details of the voter confidentially. So another scheme was proposed by Ahmed Ben Ayed. So their scheme, it ensures the public verifiability. And a person named Mawa, he also proposed a scheme that uses blockchain pairings, identity based encryption, and elliptic curve cryptography to provide eligibility, fairness, integrity, verifiability, and vote privacy. And a person named Kayas and Jung proposed an electronic voting protocol based on three basic design paradigms, namely shrink and mix networks, homomorphic encryption, and blind signatures. And a person named Santosh have devised an electronic voting system based on user access control provided by web technologies. And a person named Adiputra have proposed a voting system based on blockchain and created a prototype for the said system. So their system uses asymmetric key cryptography and signature schemes on top of a proof of word based blockchain. Let us get into the scheme preliminaries. So as I said that to achieve fairness in the voting process, it must have features such as confidentiality, authenticity, integrity, and so on. So to achieve the proposed characteristics, the scheme relies on a well-established cryptographic primitives. Here the cryptographic techniques are being used so that we can achieve the integrity in the voting process. The scheme, it uses a digital signature process to provide a message authentication. Cryptographic hashes are also used. As I said that a series of strings for the exact data is being generated by the hash functions. So by this we can keep the voting process confidentially, and we can get a fairness in that. And zero knowledge proofs are also used to attain unlinkability. So these primitives are further discussed as follows. So first is asymmetric key cryptography, and this is also known as a public key. So it employs two keys. One is public key and a private key. Firstly, these two keys remain secret. Later, it is revealed publicly. And this asymmetric key cryptography can also be used for encryption and decryption, that is message authentication. Next is cryptographic hash functions. This cryptographic hash functions are one-way tap door functions that allows mapping of an arbitrary input to an arbitrary output. Here the mapping of input and output is taking place. The input to hash function can vary in length. However, the generated output is of fixed length. So the output is known as the message digest or a hash value. I said that this cryptographic hash functions are used to generate the series of strings of bits for the exact data. So here the output generated is the hash value for the message, that is the data. Okay. Next is digital signatures. Asymmetric cryptography can be used to verify the origin of a message. Okay, any message that is encrypted using the private key of the sender, verified using the corresponding public key. So if the message is successfully decrypted using the public key, it means that the message has originated from the actual sender. So firstly, a sender will send a message, and along with that message he sends a private key. So using that private key, he encrypts the message uh, and sends to the sender. So and the receiver, he receives the encrypted message and it is being decrypted using the public key. So in the corresponding public key. So if the message is successfully decrypted using the public key, so we may come to the conclusion that the message has been originated from the actual sender. And next is zero knowledge proofs. This zero knowledge proofs are a cryptographic primitive that is used to verify the validity of a statement without revealing the unnecessary information. So by this zero knowledge proofs, we can verify the validity of a statement without revealing the unnecessary information, such as the voter credentials. Without revealing those information, we can verify the validity of a statement. Next is ZKSN-ARKS, and the abbreviation is Zero Knowledge Second Non-Interactive Augment of Knowledge, are a novel form of zero knowledge cryptographic proofs. It allows the prover to convince a verifier of the truth of a statement. Okay, it is used to convince the truth of a statement without revealing the statement itself. Next is blockchain. As I said that blockchain, it consists of blocks of data, and each block will be pointing to the previous block of data. And I also said that these pointers are created using a cryptographic hash functions, and these pointers not only refer to the previous block of data, but it can also be used to verify the integrity of the previous block. And let's get into the technique. So firstly, the voters personal data is collected by the government organizations, and these organization will suggest to the election commissions that these are the list of eligible voters who can cast their vote. And these organizations also sends the other data to the election commission, and this election commission it uses this data, and for each eligible voter it assigns a voter ID and a public key, thereby creating an ID token. So these ID tokens are signed by the election commission and any number of other verification authorities to avoid malign behavior on behalf of a single authority. So in order not to take place any malpractices during this process, so the ID tokens are signed by the election commission. All these tokens are published onto the blockchain, and once all the tokens are successfully added, the blockchain is made publicly, and everyone is able to access the data, so thus allowing everyone to be a part of the verification process. So here is the voting process diagram, and let's get into the detailed explanation of each step in the further slides. First is the ID token generation. So as I said that for each eligible voter, an ID token will be generated, and these ID tokens are signed by the election commission, and these ID tokens are generated by the election commission. So the election commission, it publishes the public key and a list of voters to a blockchain. The list of voters, it contains ID tokens for each eligible voter, and these tokens, it does not reveal any personal information, but it just gives only the information of the voter ID and a public key which is assigned for each eligible voter. Next, the validity of each token can be verified by examining the voter ID and asking the election commission to present corresponding credentials in case of a dispute, in case of any issues arising during the verification. So we can ask the election commission to give the corresponding eligible voter credentials so that we can match and we can come to a conclusion. So each ID token that is published to the blockchain must be signed by the election commission. As I said that the ID token will be generated by the election commission, and those ID tokens must be signed by the election commission, and later it is being published to the blockchain. It also provides integrity checking for each token. Making sure actual voter uses the token. As I said, that ID token will be generated by the election commission, and we need to make sure that the exact token is used by the eligible voter during the voting process. So to make sure that only the original voter casts the vote, the physical presence of the voter is necessary. Once the voter is physically present at the polling station, they can present biometric credentials over a secure channel to the election commission to obtain a small random secret pin. So once the voter is physically present at the polling station to cast their vote, so they can perform the biometric credentials, and a small random secret pin will be generated to each and every eligible voter. So this pin, when combined with the barcodes which are present on the ID card, um these are when these two are combined, a private key for the each eligible voter will be generated. So this ensures that the voter, along with their credentials, entering the polling area. Next is vote casting. So once the user has presented their voter ID and information to the polling machine, the machine, it searches for the corresponding ID token on the blockchain. So later the voter, I mean the candidate, the voter chooses the candidate and inputs their pin that was generated in the previous step. As I said that after performing the biometric credentials, a secret pin will be generated to each and every eligible voter. So that pin is being used here. So the pin and the ID information is use it to generate the voter's private key. Later, the choice of candidates is used as the recipient address for the vote transaction. This proof, along with randomly generated public key, are sent to the candidate's address. The transaction is signed using the private key corresponding the randomly generated public key. This allows the candidate to easily verify later that their vote was counted and was not tampered with. Next is vote verification. Once the eligible voters cast their vote, we need to verify it. So the polling stations collect the votes in batches or blocks, and these get published into the blockchain. So any vote's integrity can be verified using the included public key. Okay, this verifies that all the cast votes are accounted for. So the final step is the vote counting. Okay, once all the eligible voters cast their vote, we need to count the number of votes casted by the people. So the counting process is very simple, as anybody connected to the blockchain network can simply count the votes that were sent to the specific address. So here is the conclusion. Okay, the system is easy to implement and allow non-tech literate people to participate in the voting process. So this system is very easy to implement, and the literate and illiterate people can take part in the voting process, and observers and neutral parties can establish nodes to verify the neutrality of the voting process. It presents a system of transparent, unbiased, verifiable and reliable voting system that does not base its truth in the administrative authorities. So by using the blockchain techniques and the cryptographic techniques, we can achieve a total integrity in the electoral process. Okay, so it provides cryptographic guarantees to provide all the necessary features that a good voting system must have. Thank you.